Hey, it's Sean Lentz, founder of Open House Revolution, where I teach real estate professionals how to skyrocket your businesses through one simple strategy. A strategy that in our business is looked over by a lot of people. And a strategy, more importantly, that's free. Well, what is, you ask? It's by hosting open houses. But just wait, this is not your typical open house. This is an open house with a serious twist to it. A twist, as a matter of fact, that has taken me from a very average, maybe even below average realtor from doing 2 years ago about 12 to 15 sales per year. Where last year, I closed just over 75 deals from doing this exact same open house strategy. You know, I got into this business probably like yourself and like most other realtors because of the opportunity to make a lot of money, number one, and the opportunity to do what you want to do when you want to do it. To not have to work the 8 to 5 corporate structure, and again, to help provide great services for the buyers or sellers in your community. And for the first couple of years when I was in business, I did just that. I mean, I killed it. I did really well. And then 2006 came, and our market around the United States, like yours, just plummeted, right? And I remember sitting in my office just devastated because I didn't know where my next buyer or seller is coming from. I didn't know where my next check was coming from to pay my bills that were due. And it was really, really frustrating position to be in. And if you've ever been in this position or had that same thing happen to you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it sucks, you know? So I remember one of the realtors saying, hey, Sean, why don't you try doing an open house? I'm like, I'll give it a shot. I've never done it before. So that very next weekend, I did an open house. I got all suited up, got our signs and everything. And I did these for a few weeks, for probably about 6 months, I'd say. Right? Put out the signs, I'd sit around, and I'd meet majority of the neighbors. As a matter of fact, if I had another person come into an open house that said, oh, we're just the nosy neighbors, I was going to lose it, right? Or I wanted to put a sign on the front door that said, no neighbors. So after about 6 months, I came to the conclusion that it sucked, and I gave up doing them. It just wasn't productive, it wasn't proactive, and I just hated not being able to get my own destination from what I was putting into it. So I stopped doing it. For about 5 years, I didn't do open houses. Until about a year and a half ago, where I was on a Saturday afternoon, I was driving to a friend's house, and I remember seeing the sign on the side of the road that said, open house, must sell, foreclosure. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I keep driving, about another half mile up, I see another sign that said, bid today, must sell, open house. I'm like, this is interesting. So I drove probably about another mile or so, and I passed a couple more of these signs, and I get to the intersection, and there's like 4 or 5 of these signs around the intersection. I'm like, I got to check this out. So I turned out of my way to go look at this open house, right? And I get there, and there's about 4 or 5 people at the house there, and the light bulb just turned on for me. I'm like, this is awesome. This company or this guy or whoever it was is providing the answer that these buyers are asking, which is, what's in it for them? What are these buyers getting out of, the deal? And by him providing, the must sell, he's providing them with a product that is, must have almost. So I kind of twisted it, did my own thing with it, and I started doing open houses again, where I can ask you the same question. What are you providing for the buyers in your area? What are you doing differently than the other guys in your office or the other realtors in your town? And I started providing buyers with free information and free access to our foreclosures, free lists or insiders access to short sales, or free information to the local for sale by owners. And it's been doing great for me. As a matter of fact, between myself and my agents, I'm getting between 13 and 15 buyers through our open houses every single weekend. So the homework I have for you is just this. So if you follow me here, is number one, how are you different? Okay, how are you different than the realtors in your office? How are you different from the other realtors in the community? Okay. Second off is, what do you provide? And the question, what do you provide, is whether it's a service or a special lists, like I offer? Do you provide lists of free foreclosures or a custom, niche in your area that separates you from everybody else? And the third question I have for you is, what's in it for the buyers? Okay. And I apologize for my handwriting here. But why is a buyer going to decide to work with you versus the next guy in your office or the next realtor in your community? And that's huge, because in today's tough economy, you have to separate yourself from everybody else. And that's why even National Association of Realtors says more and more buyers every single year since the economy has dropped are falling out of this position. So you have to now more than ever become an expert or specialize in something where the buyers are coming to you. Okay. In the next video, I'm going to provide you and show you exactly what it is in our signs and what we market to get these buyers, flying to our open houses. Just they see in our signs and they're like, honey, hold on, they're coming over to our open houses. And like I said, it's awesome. We right now are getting between 13 and 15 buyers per weekend. So it seriously does work. So in the meantime, answer this homework right here. And until the next video, I'd like you to comment and ask any questions below. And until then, I want to thank you, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side.